Hey everybody, Thomas here. Nice brisk day. The wind is actually down today, but it's still mighty chilly. So I don't know if I did a video on this or not. All the videos are kind of blending together. It takes me a second to look at what video did I process, what video did I not process. But long story short, poplar log on here. I did time lapse when I got this sucker squared up to a cant. I'm around 22 by 20, I think, is the cant that I have right now. I've got a customer looking for some spalted poplar at 10 foot. This log's 10-2, it has some spalt to it. I'm hoping this will fill the order. So I'll do a little time lapse here, cutting this. I am running it at daylight. I got some weird checks on this log, so we'll see. I've got checks that run in different orientations, so I just threw the log on there. It didn't really matter which orientation I was cutting it. But we'll take a few more. I'll probably take 6 inches off the top, 6 inches off the bottom, and then 6 on the sides and leave a 6 by 6 in the middle. The math doesn't add up, but it'll work. But I'm going to be leaving some type of center cut so I stay away from that weird checking in the middle. And I want to stay around my outsides because that's where the spalt is. It's not going to be on the inside. So we'll see. And then I don't know. I haven't gotten to any of the heartwood yet. I don't know if this is going to have any rainbow spalt or rainbow color to it at all. It may. If it's got rainbow in it, I might reevaluate and figure out a better way to cut it. So we'll see. I know I'm going to run out of light today, but at least I'll do some time lapse so you'll get to see some cutting, and I'll hopefully do the magic of editing, put something together. Here we go. Okay, so if you saw the video, the time lapse and everything, what I did is I cut this into 3 essentially cants that are at 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn them and start slabbing these down to 3/4 inch boards. Let's see how that goes. I need at least 24 for one of the jobs, and the outside pieces will have this spalt and some pretty neat color, so we'll see how this goes. Go ahead and do a time lapse. I am running out of daylight, but now when you get home late in the afternoon, that's what you got. Here we go. Hey everybody, okay, so I've shown the time lapse of cutting up that giant poplar log, and I also showed a few videos where I was cutting it into 3 parts. This will be the finale on the poplar. Most of these came out of that one tree. There's 3 stacks here, or 3 linear stacks I should say, and I also have, I think, 21 boards.
in the barn. They came off the same tree. Now some of these are also of some smaller trees my dad had brought up, but I wanted to show some of the colors in here. And you see these wet spots on here? I'm doing a quick dry method on these. I put the first side out in the sun today, and then I swept it off and flipped it over, and doing this side as well. So in there you'll see some awesome greens, reds, purples, grays, blues. Literally every color that you can see in poplar is in this wood here. There's some oranges, some purples, real nice. And then on some of these other boards, you get your typical really green stuff, then you get some grays and some blues. And then you have some kind of plain colors, but with some knots here and there that just add some character. And on this third stack over here, every once in a while you get a couple that have some beautiful spalt in it. This one's a pretty good example. I've got a guy looking for spalted wood, poplar, maple, whatever, anything that has spalt. He's going to do the inside of a tray ceiling in his house. So again, this is doing some quick drying before I get this stickered and stacked, just to do the initial dry. But this will help fill a load for a guy. This is 280-ish board foot, I think. And I have another 120 board foot in the barn. My goal is 500 board foot. I have another log on the mill, but I just swept this stuff, and oh, that's a butt kicker. But you know, it's beautiful stuff. I don't know what they're gonna actually, some of this is gonna be used for a wall, like I said, some for a tray ceiling, but I need to get crack-a-lacking on that. The other thing I was gonna say is most of these came out of that one big log, not all. Some of the other stuff came out of cutting 2 at a time. So I kid you not, you can cut 2 logs at a time. The biggest trick to cutting 2 logs at a time is you want to make sure they're pretty straight, and you want to make sure they're about the same size. And I'm going to show in my next video, I'll show some time lapse of cutting 2 at a time, and then show how I pair up logs to cut 2 at a time. You can typically only do this for smaller logs. The majority of these logs that my dad brought up, these poplar that he got up in Tennessee, were 8 to 12 inches in diameter. So that's about a perfect size. Anything bigger than that, it gets kind of difficult. It's also best to have the same type of wood. There is one log pair that I cut up where one was hickory and one was poplar. Now, the reason that hickory got mixed in there is because the bark was off of it. It looks similar, but I looked at the end growth rings. I'm like, no, this is not poplar, but I thought it was hickory, but not until I started cutting it up did I realize that. So, hope y'all enjoy this. It's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I do enjoy it, and I'm glad I'm able to help out people. The guy who's actually using a lot of this wood, the one that's doing the walls, he's got a fish camp. He's got half of the building up, and he ran out of the poplar. He wanted unique looking poplar, and I have a big stack of it in the back too, which is not counted into 120 board foot, and it's some wider stuff, 8 inches wide. It's gnarly. I've got it stand up vertical up against the barn wall, and it was swept last night. Hopefully the rain doesn't hit us tomorrow. There is a slight chance of rain. I need one more day of quick drying on this before I start to sticker and stack it, but we'll see how that plays out. Hope everyone's enjoying this. I am. We'll see you around. Thanks.